I'm Stephanie.
I'm Meredith.
Welcome to This Is My Circus. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
This is not a relaxing summer for me so
Oh.
far, and I want to protest. This June is kicking my tail.
Mm.
Football started for Jackson last week, and it's a 7 to 10 a.m. workout,
Mm.
which means he needs to be there by 6:45. And I'm he nor I are morning people. Neither one of us dig it. So I mean, I go and I take him and I get home and I start working. Since I work from home, I mean that's
Right.
fine. But then he also has basketball too.
Mm.
So he has basketball most days. This week it's been from like 1 to 3, but last week it was from like 2 to 4. I don't know, 2 to 3. It's a lot of running around.
Yeah.
And with him not being able to drive yet, it is just like I take my lunch hour around when I can pick him up and drop him
And
off.
I'm sure it was so much easier when he was at the middle school, which was right by his
Yes,
house,
yeah,
and now it's all the way across town.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, and last year his practice, he did both, but his practice was right behind football practice.
Mhm.
So they had like a 30-minute break. So last year he did football and there was like a 30-minute break and right into basketball. So I didn't have to do the picking up and coming and going and all the
Yeah.
things. So Brian laughs every day because he's like, "Are you going to make it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I am exhausted." And then one day they had a basketball scrimmage and he did not go. He just chose to stay and do football.
Mm.
And but after that he went swimming with a friend, and then after that he helps coach at the middle school,
Mhm.
the 7th or 8th grade now, I think. So he went to do that, and then he had another basketball practice that night. And I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And it's just for the month of June. So it's just like 2 more weeks.
Yeah. The little engine that could, like, I think I
I
can. I
think I
think I
can.
can.
Yes, yes. So I feel just like a crazy person.
You're just like an Uber at this point.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And still trying to get the gist of this new job and figure out all the things and whatever. And then I randomly get mad at Brian. So for whatever reason, today, what was I mad at him for today? Oh, oh, his parents cooked extra. So he was like, his mom called, which was so great. Like, hey, we have extra, I think it was like pulled pork barbecue. You want to come pick some up? And he was like, I was like, yes, just go. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
And on the way back, like something spilled in his truck. And that's why I was late today coming over here, because he was like, something spilt and I don't know what it was. And just like drama. Anyway, how are you?
Good. Speaking of things spilling in the car, I was going to pick up my sister from the airport yesterday, and my hands just felt like super dry. There was a little bottle of lotion in the car, and I'm like, oh, lotion. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I go to open it, and I guess because it's in the hot car,
Uh-huh.
when I tell you that thing, while
All
I'm
over the
driving,
place.
I'm like on the road driving, and it just,
Splat.
and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I'm like trying to find tissues or napkins to like wipe all the lotion mess that's everywhere. It was like in my hair. It
Oh
was like on my
no.
shirt. I was like, oh my God. So,
So did it turn into a hair wash day when it wasn't supposed to be a hair wash day? Because I
well,
hate that too.
I was just like, just wiping it out with
Okay,
like,
okay, okay.
everything. And I was like, oh, it was like 7:30 at night, whatever. It was end of day. So I wasn't worried about it, but I was
Yeah,
just like, are you kidding me?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Like lotion everywhere.
And that's like hard to get off when it's on the glass and stuff. It's like just smears.
Yeah, while you're driving. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah. What else, right? What else?
I was like, at least it didn't get in my eyes.
Very good. Very true. Very true. Do you wash your hair every day?
No,
I
like
don't either.
maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah. Even if that, like in the summer, I do more.
Yeah. Well, if I go swimming and stuff, I'll
Right.
wash my hair and stuff
Right.
like that more, but I don't go outside
Not right. No, I
much.
mean, for the most part, unless I'm just being Uber mom,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, I'm just home. And when I work in the yard and stuff, obviously you can get all nasty,
Yeah.
sweaty, it's different. But yeah. And then I try to plan my hair wash around like my events coming up.
Uh-huh.
And there's nothing that'll make me crazier than when my hair math is off.
Yeah.
Or when the plans change and I'm like, crap, they moved it 2 days out, so I should wash today, but it's not time to wash yet.
Hmm.
Hair math. Well, did you get a chance to read a book?
I sure did twice.
Twice.
Well, I read it when it first came out, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, that's right.
was listening. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to it, and then as I was listening to it, I'm like, I've listened to this before.
It sounded familiar.
Yeah,
Do you have the blurb?
I do.
Okay, it's
Okay.
called What Lies in the Woods?
Yep, by Kate Alice Marshall.
Okay.
All right. Naomi Shaw used to believe in magic. 22 years ago, she and her two best friends, Cassidy and Olivia, spent the summer roaming the woods, imagining a world of ceremony and wonder. They called it the Goddess Games. The summer ended suddenly when Naomi was attacked. Miraculously, she survived her 17 stab wounds and lived to identify the man who had hurt her. The girl's testimony put away a serial killer wanted for murdering 6 women. They were heroes, and they were liars. For decades, the friends have kept a secret worth killing for, but now Olivia wants to tell, and Naomi sets out to find out what really happened in the woods, no matter how dangerous the truth turns out to be. What did you think? I'll let you start.
Okay. I liked the book.
Me too.
I liked it. It was good. It was, we tried to mix it up with our book list. So it still gives us the little bit of the genre we like, but it was definitely different with the finding the I don't remember if you said it in there, but the finding the secret stuff in the woods and all this kind of stuff. So I liked it. I'm trying to think. There was nothing I didn't like about it. I was very surprised
Same.
by lots of it. All of my guesses as I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, this guy did this. Totally wrong.
Yeah.
And there were some things in there that I did not see coming at all. Some of the relationships. Yeah. So, and trigger warnings
Yeah.
for self-harm, self-inflicted child could have been.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they don't really go into it, but it's still mentioned.
Right.
So I liked it, and I would have read it again.
Yeah.
I did have to read it, I'll be honest, a couple of times. I had to start it a couple of times because I really have to get into something, and then I can like tune everything else out.
Yeah.
But before I'm really into it, it's just like background
noise.
Yes. So I had to start it just a couple of times to make sure I had my people right.
Yeah. I actually, even realizing that I had already listened to it, I was totally into it still. So it was an awesome like round 2.
Yeah. Okay.
For me.
Did you remember the ending?
I vaguely remembered
Okay.
what was going on.
Okay.
And then I was like, I think this is what it is. I kind of was putting it together
Okay.
as it was going, but
Okay.
not initially,
Yeah.
the first time I read it, no clue what was going to happen.
Right.
Like,
Right.
totally surprised and 100% liked the book. It was really, really good. And again, listening the second time, sometimes you listen to something again and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But no, like,
Really?
it was awesome.
Okay, good, good.
And I missed. Also, there was a huge gap in time period of listening, but I was like picking up on stuff
Yeah.
that I didn't the first time.
Yeah.
So loved it. Okay, so you said that you did not guess the ending.
No.
Neither did I. And I didn't guess the ending like 4 times.
Right. I was gonna say, as you know, as the story unravels and you start going down a different path, you're like, what? Oh, and then it unravels it again, and you're like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I did not at all.
So good. I do think because they go back and forth in time.
Yes.
And I thought it was really easy to keep track of that as well. Like it wasn't super confusing.
Yeah. Some of them that we have read, and I can't pinpoint what they are, but it's very difficult to know where are we. And I can't put my finger on why it's easy and why it's not. But yeah, that was super easy for me to follow with that.
I thought it was super interesting in like the character development of how the event affected each character.
Yes.
Even like outside characters, not just the 3 that were in the woods.
Other
at the
people
time.
in the community and family and stuff.
Right. So I thought the author developing those characters around that trauma and then the kind of ripple effect of the community was done so well.
Okay. I did not pinpoint that. I don't disagree, but that didn't jump out to me.
Okay.
Like, what was an example? Can you think of an example of what, like, or of a character?
Yeah. So the police officers, the guy that made his career off of arresting,
Right. Yeah.
So this is gonna be a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Hit that forward button a few times, folks.
He was told about this serial killer that they thought this was the guy. So he kind of wrapped himself up into this event to make his career, quote unquote, make his career, and really rolled with it. And then he made sure that Naomi, who was an outsider, she was just a pain in the butt to the whole town because her dad's a drunk and like whatever, like they were, not the pillar of the
Right. They were
community.
from the wrong side of the tracks, supposed
Right.
to be.
But then the entire town rallied around Naomi
Mm-hmm.
as a survivor.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was kind of implied that the police department really influenced a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the ripple effect of that, and then when she comes back into town, and she's brought into questioning, and that same police officer,
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I see what you're saying. I feel like this book, now, of course, some parts of it are fantastical and, whatever, but I feel like this could really happen.
yeah,
Just because probably where we live, we're surrounded by woods and there's always little kids exploring. I did the Woods
Dylan
Explorer.
was in the woods all the time.
Yeah.
He came back and he had a huge cut on his leg from barbed wire because
Oh, geez.
they were trying to get through something, and I was like, didn't
Right.
tell me at first because he was like, "Oh, I
You
didn't
didn't
want to
want,
get in trouble."
yeah,
I'm
of
like, "We
course.
gotta go get a tetanus shot."
Right. Right. But it felt like it could very much, even like you were talking about the town, and I think of different situations that have happened in our little town, how the community has split sides or taken one side or the other or totally back and forth. I felt like it could really
Yeah.
happen.
Also, the guy that got arrested, his family, and how that affected,
Yes.
so I feel like this event
Mm-hmm.
had so much effect on so many outside people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. You're right. And things usually do. We just don't think about it like
right.
that. Like if you're not, directly involved, if you're one or two steps removed, a lot of times that gets forgotten about.
Yeah.
If you're not right up on top of a situation.
So I thought it was cool that like she kind of hit on all the other like the outside aspects and not just
Mm-hmm.
focused on the three girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that she did that too, without bringing in so many pieces that you lose track of where we were
Right.
going.
Right.
Yeah, that was really well done.
So going with that, seeing how the event shaped each girl so differently
Right.
and the effect on like their careers and the effect on
Their
their living
personalities and
situations
yeah.
was done really well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like,
And I thought that was interesting in the moment because it's another trigger warning for eating disorders. Some people react and go through that path, and some people just, what am I trying to think here? Their traits, their personality
yeah,
traits, those were magnified or diminished because of this trauma. And like I said, the eating disorders or just other traits that they
yeah,
developed because of this
mhm,
was crazy.
yeah.
And I mean, it makes you wonder if this had not happened, would they have had these other?
And Naomi hit that at the end of the book. If this didn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
would the town would never
Mm-hmm.
have
Yep.
embraced her. She would never have gotten out of the town. She
And
would have
her
been stuck
career.
there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was hit on too,
Yeah.
like this, like what ifs,
Yeah.
So I guess mental health aspect of it, the whole,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, the what if aspect of it
Mm-hmm.
was fascinating to me.
It was to me too. And they touched on just a little bit some relationships between some of the main characters.
Mhm.
And I thought that was interesting and kind of a little real too.
Yeah, the jealousy of,
Mm-hmm.
who's better friends
Right. And
and
it's three good friends. And my mom used to always say it's tough when there's three. You go to an amusement park and it only holds two people, that kind of thing.
yeah,
And it definitely touches on that a lot. Made me grateful to have a boy.
same.
We say that I think every week.
But boys, I think, have a lot of like weird dynamics too in
They do.
friendship groups. Not as bad as girls, I don't think. But I think they go through those phases
Mm-hmm.
of, I mean, just like girls do,
Right.
insecurities of,
Yes. Yes.
like,
And I think boys, and they both go through it. It's just called something different in each one. Like
mhm.
for boys, it's like the alpha thing where they're trying to figure out where they are. And the girls, it's basically just bitchiness. I mean, but it's so funny that it's called,
Yeah,
in one, it's almost respected. And the other one, it's like she's mean.
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway, yeah, all the things
yeah,
that they go through as little ones.
yeah. The only other note that I had was about Ethan?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Didn't see it coming.
no, so Ethan was a podcaster in the
Yes.
book.
Yes. I thought that was
So
funny.
yeah, I did too. I was kind of giggling.
Yeah.
But I thought like that twist was bananas.
Me too.
So I thought it was gonna go way different, even as it was like revealed, like his, part in
His
all of
connections
this.
was
Yeah.
tough. Yeah.
But very, yeah, huge twist.
Very much so. And what's so funny about that is the book still would have been good without that twist, but that just made you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved all the twists in it. I love not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the character development was awesome
Mm-hmm.
and just explaining like all the different aspects of this little town.
Yeah.
I really just enjoyed the book.
As much as we like these books, the past few that we've read, I wonder if I would like them even more if I was actually reading them. Because I enjoy listening to them, but when you read a book, sometimes it's just that much better.
I can't sit down and read a book though.
I know. I've been trying to read the same book at night, like for 3 weeks, and I get like 2 pages in, and I just, lose track
I'm
of.
so used to doing 3, 4 different things at a
Mm-hmm.
time that I like to sit down. Actually, when I sit in like the sauna blanket,
Yeah.
I read a book. Like I'll read a physical book,
Okay.
but that's the only time.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what would you give this one?
I would high,
Another high?
yeah, 9,
Yeah.
8.5, 9.
Yeah, agreed. I'd give it something high. And I'm glad because I don't think I'm gonna like next week's book.
I started it.
Did you? Is it terrible?
Yeah.
So it's called The Hacienda.
Yes.
And I was reading the blurb about it, and let me just tell you from Hoopla what it says. Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca in this debut spiritual supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence. Can we skip it?
I don't. I can't get through the first chapter.
Great. So I have another book I think we should read.
Okay.
It's called All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers, who's a podcaster.
Yes. Okay. I know her.
Okay, so she does Crime Junkie.
Yes.
And something else like The Deck. That's what else she does. Have you ever listened to that one?
Mm-mm.
It's I can't really get into it. It doesn't have Brit in it, so it's not like a lot of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously it's just her, so there's not like back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
She had a lot of drama too.
Oh yeah, with her podcast. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know. I remember that. Like they were trying to like boycott her,
Yeah.
which
I thought you said boink, like boink on her, not boycott.
do you remember in football the Super Bowl and it was the double doink when it like bounced off the
No,
poles twice, the
no.
field goal thingies,
Uh-uh.
the post. That's what they're called, post. And it like bounced and then like it did like a flip and then bounced again.
This really happened?
Yeah, and it was called the double doink.
No, all I can think of is the butt fumble.
Yeah.
We are good at this.
Oh gosh.
So next time we'll do All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers.
Yes.
And forget the Hacienda.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm in with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, scrolling because like I can't fall asleep at night and like I just scroll on TikTok. I should probably read so I get tired, but then I'm like my mind is so
I
all over the
understand.
place. So I came across and like true crime is like my TikTok feed.
Right.
Have you heard about the Brandon Rasberry case? It was in
Mm-mm.
Texas.
Fill me in.
All right. So January 18th, 2022, this dude, Brandon, 32 years old, was found deceased in an RV at the Lazy J RV park in Nixon, Texas.
Okay.
It was a single gunshot wound to the head.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past 2 years, no leads, no nothing. They have no
And it
clue.
wasn't self-inflicted.
No. And there
Nope.
was a one, I guess, shot that was
Shell.
went off in the couch. So
Okay.
this dude was on his bed, and then there was also just like a random
Gunshot to
in the
the sofa.
couch.
Okay.
Yeah. So cops, no clue what's going on. Fast forward to April 12th of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Authorities received a call from the local school principal who reported a 10-year-old male had threatened to assault and kill another student on the bus the previous day that they called the police. After conducting a threat assessment on the student, they contacted the police to conduct further investigation, and a
Mm-hmm.
deputy was dispatched to the school.
Okay.
When police got to the school then told him that the kid said he shot and killed the man 2 years ago. The kid said that he was visiting his grandfather at the RV park, took a weapon out of the glove box of his grandfather's truck, went into Rasberry's RV while he was sleeping, discharged the weapon.
So he would have been 8 years old.
7.
Okay.
It was a week before his 8th birthday.
Okay.
Discharged the weapon one time, leaving a single gunshot wound to the head, and then discharged another bullet into the couch. None of that, I guess, was released into like.
That was like one of those
Yeah.
facts they held
And returned the weapon to the truck.
Oh my gosh.
So, because of the child's age and Texas Penal Code 12.07. It states that a child does not have criminal culpability until they reach the age of 10. So this kid supposedly didn't tell any of the adults in his life, like grandfather, nothing, like just went around with this. He unalived somebody for the last 2 years
Oh my gosh.
and then threatened to unalive a student on the bus. And he cannot be held accountable for his first unaliving.
Because of his age. Can they do anything?
No. Well, so they're holding him accountable now, like they're doing all these assessments and whatever now
Mm-hmm.
because of the threat to the student on the
Mm-hmm.
bus. So then like my mind goes sideways, right? Like, what if grandpa did it?
Mm-hmm.
But they know that the law says
Mm-hmm.
that
That
he
if
can't be
they're
held accountable.
mm-hmm.
So
So
grandfather also pawned the gun, and they found the gun,
okay.
and they did connect
The the
the
dots.
yeah the everything, all the
When
evidence.
did that happen? Do you know?
They didn't say in the article
Okay.
that I read, but because then I went like searching,
Oh
I
yeah.
Googled.
Well, okay, so was there a connection between this kid and the no.
No, and so the police said, were you upset with this guy? Did he do
Mm-hmm.
something? He said, no, I never seen him a day in my life. Just walked into his RV and
Decided to try this.
yeah, like
I find this really, really hard to believe.
I am like, okay, so if this is true, I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
what really like that's terrifying. That is
Mm-hmm.
terrifying
Yeah.
that this kid walked around with this for 2 years
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of it there's terrifying that the kid had access to that and apparently knew enough to use it.
and only had to fire one shot.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that good of aim?
so I have you ever shot a gun?
No,
So I have, but
I want to.
it's been a long time since I have, but I have, and it's not an easy thing. Like the kick, especially like the first time you do it, it's like you feel you don't know how to stand, like the prep for the kickback and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
For a 7-year-old
Yeah.
to not have,
See, Brandon taught Dylan, like, because,
hmm
we did have plenty in that, like, so we wanted him to
yeah,
know
yeah,
safety
sure,
and everything.
absolutely, yes,
So at a young age, Brandon did teach Dylan how to handle things, but
yeah,
everything was locked up in safes. There was
absolutely,
absolutely
yes,
no access to
right,
anything.
same, yeah,
Um,
same at our house right now. Yep.
so yeah, but for that that aim,
The aim and just the like I said, the not have being bruised. I'm assuming this kid doesn't have a lot of supervision
right?
because if Jackson would have done that when he was that age, I would think he would have had bruises or soreness,
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just
something.
like I don't want to
Uh,
just a 9 millimeter or something like that, but
right.
like a smaller weapon
Yeah.
because it was in the glove box.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know. To me, like for it to one shot,
Right.
I don't know. The whole
Right.
thing's just weird. Like the whole thing is creepy and weird
Uh-huh.
and
If he did it, it's weird and terrible, and if he didn't, it's weird and
yeah.
terrible. Like
Yeah. I just saw that. I'm like, that is like the weirdest.
that is crazy. And that happened in Texas?
So now the man that was unalived,
Mm-hmm.
his family is trying to get the law changed that some kind of accountability would have been able to, obviously not in this case because it would be moving forward,
Right.
but that some kind of accountability would have been able to be given to
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Crazy. And he was only in that RV park for 4 days. He was there like on a job.
Like came in, was gonna do his stuff and leave. Pack up and head out. And wow.
So that's terrifying. And then the threat of on the school bus, like the whole
Right.
thing, like is horrible, like
Well,
for everybody involved.
yes, I'm glad that when that threat was made on the bus that they took that seriously. And however that news got back to them, whether it was the parent called and said this happened or whatever, I'm glad that was taken seriously and not brushed off like
Mhm.
kids are stupid kids.
Yeah.
A lot of it happens like that, I think.
Hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
2 years. That what's scary about that too is kids can't keep secrets. So if that really happened, I mean, I'm glad that this child is getting
Assessed.
because yeah, if that really happened that way, that child's got some major things going on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to put it mildly.
Yeah. So
Wow.
there's your OMG for the day,
Yeah.
among other
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's crazy. The
Mhm.
fact that that popped up in your
Yeah.
feed, that's probably just because we're searching on the Micah
Micah
whatever.
Miller.
Hmm.
Speaking of,
Oh yeah,
that was a good segue.
it was. If I could have said it correctly.
Have you seen any of the updates?
No, because I've been too exhausted from all this driving I'm having to do. What?
Well,
Give it to me.
my 2 a.m. updates. So I guess the internet did their thing on the
Hmm.
internet, and so the fisherman that was like the witness, or not witness, but like spoke to the police, said he heard crying and then the gunshot, and
Okay.
he was one of the main people
Hmm.
right away,
Hmm.
is somehow related to JP.
Shut up.
Yeah, come on.
I feel like he's related to the whole town.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, and this is totally alleged, and it was by a
Yeah.
creator on TikTok. I don't know how
Right.
true it is, but said that his family is part of like the Masons.
Okay. Which they're normally good dudes, right?
I don't know anything about it. I haven't
Well, I
researched
know
it,
a couple of people that are, and they do.
but like powerful, like
Yeah.
their reach goes far. Is I think
Okay.
more of what it was
Okay.
saying, like
Okay.
for cover-ups,
Okay.
like it could the reach of the
Yeah.
powerful people
I gotcha. Okay.
would
And
extend.
let me take that back. The ones that I know, the information that they've given me is they do charity things and that. So I really don't know. I'm not a grand poobah.
Is there something we need to discuss?
So I really don't know a lot about it
Yeah.
either.
And I just that today like popped up again. It's a creator on TikTok who
Right.
knows. I don't know if it's
Right.
true or not, but his family, I mean, like he does seem to be slipperier than a, I don't know,
Greased pig.
slime.
Slippery than slime.
I don't know.
We are really good at this thing. This thing is gonna blow up for real.
He actually has made his own TikTok account now, JP,
Has he?
to dispel all of the rumors, and he was going to take down one rumor a day.
Do
And
you follow him?
no,
I don't want
I
to
don't
either,
want
but
it.
I want to know all the
Well,
things.
all the other creators like share his stuff and
They
go
do
for it.
the duet
And
things.
he's like classic like abusive dirtball.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, so the fisherman guy, back to him.
Yeah.
So supposedly he's related. They found like some obituary of a mutual family member, and I guess they were both listed in that obituary
Okay.
as like relatives or whatever.
Okay.
And they are now, because like he has a super distinct voice, the
Okay.
fisherman dude, and they broke down the 911 call, and
They think they can hear him.
they think he was in the background of the 911 call, which is also said to be possibly AI generated. So who knows? I don't know. This is just what the people are saying
Right. Right.
on TikTok. And TikTok seems to like find anything and everything about
Mm-hmm.
anyone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
give them all the cases, all the
Right.
unsolved mysteries,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
TikTok will get it done. Oh, so this was another thing that people are going crazy over, is that in one of the surveillance videos in the beginning of the day, she was wearing her necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Next surveillance video, she had changed, like taken off her work clothes, and her necklace was not on.
Oh.
JP was wearing the necklace in an interview like a day or two later.
Okay, that's very ballsy.
And so he did an interview with a TikToker, like that's like super true crime, whatever, on TikTok. And the TikToker asked him about it. And he said that the police gave it to him the day after she was found.
Found.
And then I'm like, I know that they immediately said it was self-inflicted, but none of that is evidence.
Well,
But she wasn't wearing it
in the video, so the police should have even had it to
right,
give to him.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's strange. And if he, okay, let's throw this out there.
Uh-huh.
She was in the first video wearing the necklace. He sees her and he gets the necklace from her. And then she goes and does the other thing where she's on surveillance. For him to wear that, he's got some cojones. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He thinks he's above everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's untouchable in his head. But he's been abusing
Mm-hmm.
people. He's been.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know he had her on lithium, like because he was trying to get
What?
yeah. So he had her like institutionalized like twice, I think.
I didn't
Um,
know lithium was something that was still given anymore, though. That's
that's what Britney
crazy.
Spears was on while she was locked up. Every one of her family members, everybody said he has been like building this case, like that
Mm-hmm.
she's been crazy this whole time. Like she was not, but he was trying to build this case. He kept bringing her to the hospital saying she needs to be locked up. She needs to be locked up. She's, crazy. He,
Almost like Munchausen
yeah, by
by
proxy.
proxy. Yeah.
But in his sermons, they're showing video clips of his sermons, and he asked the church to pray for her to hit rock bottom.
That doesn't sound like what you want to pray for somebody.
Yeah. He's awful. He's an awful, awful person.
Ugh.
And then like right before when you walked in, I showed you. So his ex-wife who he cheated on with Mica,
Mm-hmm.
they look so similar.
When you showed me that, like I was speechless. I thought it was like a before and after.
Mm-mm.
Like this is when they first started dating and this is, but no, two totally different people.
Yeah. Both dark hair, like
Oh
very
yeah.
similar skin tones, like
Yes.
I mean, just everything.
Their
They
coloring,
could have been
yeah.
family.
Oh yeah, easily.
A recording just got released. Micah calling the ex-wife, asking the ex-wife for advice or help on how to leave him, like the easiest way possible, or who she used as an attorney, asking her for help.
I don't know if you know this or not, but did he leave the first wife to be with Micah? Is that how she?
Really sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like that's kind of the only way that she would have been able to get away is just like go to this other girl. Oh my goodness. This case just keeps getting wilder and wilder.
And the family, I think, is suing JP right now, like his family.
Hmm.
He's now countersuing them and is trying to get all his legal fees paid by Micah's family.
For like slander or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know. I don't know
Whatever.
exactly what it was, but yeah, he's not a good guy.
No.
And I think this is killing him because he's like classic narcissist,
Oh
classic,
yeah.
whatever. I mean, like all of the things.
Yeah.
And so for him not to be seen as poor
Hmm.
me, like the victim, and for all of this to be coming out, all of
Hmm.
his weird like things
Hmm.
that like weird
Kinks.
yeah. And not that I'm king shaming, whatever you want to
Right.
do as an adult, as long as everybody's willing. That's where
Consensual adults. That's
that's
fine. Do your
where
thing.
that's where it was is not okay,
Right.
is
Right.
because it wasn't consensual and
Yes.
he was forcing things
Right.
on
Well, and
people.
he probably, because of his narcissistic attitude, he probably does not want people to know certain things about him.
Well, especially being
A pastor.
yeah,
So for all this stuff, is he still in the pulpit pastoring? Do you know?
I think yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. Like he's got like it's like a cult almost, it feels like. And it's got like that feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that are with him are with him.
They are ride or die. No comment.
He like banned people from the church when he had said that he wanted her to hit rock bottom, and people had like some people had an issue with that and voiced that, booted them out of the church.
His church is in Myrtle Beach, right?
Hmm.
I'm going in a few weeks. I'm gonna go see his church.
Are you?
Why not?
Don't join the cult.
I'm not. I am not. I'm not good cult material.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would be easily swept
I'm
up
gonna have to
into a
come
cult.
save you.
Well, I mean, if you want to come to the beach, come on. I don't think I'd be easily put into a cult though.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I'm too lazy and tired right now to do much of anything.
I don't think I would be a good cult person either.
I think you're too.
Too much of an ass.
No. I think you just you like to research things.
Yeah.
And I don't think if somebody
Analytical.
I think if somebody came up and they were like, "Hey, you should join our cult because of this," you wouldn't be like, "Okay." You'd be like, "Actually,
Let me be the cult leader and
right.
you can talk.
Hey, maybe maybe I am in a cult now. Maybe this is a cult."
Yeah, no, I don't think I would be good
No.
material
No.
for a cult.
No. I don't think I'm
They wouldn't love me.
I just don't think I would be a
I'd be
target.
like the one that would be like locked in like the basement until I died. I'd be there for like 400 years, like making the little etches in the
The little marks. Have I ever told you about some of Jackson's friends that got kicked out of Carowinds? Oh, Dylan did.
Yeah, Dylan did.
Did he go to Carowinds jail?
Yeah, well, he got put in the security office.
I call it Carowinds jail. Well,
I didn't know if there was like really.
I
like,
don't know.
well, like there's like jails on cruises. Like I
True.
didn't know if there was like.
There might be. I don't know, but I call it Carowinds jail. I'm like, were you making little hash marks for every hour that went by that you were in
What they
Carowinds
get
jail?
kicked out for?
Supposedly, the girl that one of his friends was with, some other boys were being inappropriate, and he kind of, they didn't get in a fight, but he was posturing for a fight, I think was the words. So they just kicked them all out and banned them.
Is it for a year or for like what?
5.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
for real.
wow.
Yeah.
It
Was Dylan just for a year?
is for 1 year, and I think it's up now.
Does he have any desire to go back?
No, he could care less.
Yeah. Especially too, like when they can drive and they can go somewhere else and they like, you know what I mean?
It's not that special.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Wow. Well, I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole, but
yeah. I don't either.
climb back
Oh,
up
because I'm. Oh, we were talking about the ticks on the.
on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's jails on cruise ships?
I had heard that. I've never seen one on any of the cruises I've been
I
on.
have never seen one either, thank goodness. But I did know somebody that,
Got in cruise jail?
yes,
Why did they get in cruise jail?
for fighting.
Fighting.
But
People don't play with that.
no, 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 no. And I just want to go have fun. Like, there's no
Uh-huh.
need to be fighting.
Right.
But yeah, it's a legit thing.
It looks like a slammer.
Yeah, I don't know the specific. I'm sure it's different on every boat, maybe.
I need to look up a picture of cruise jail now.
But that would be horrible. You paid all that money to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to do it? Am I the
Mm-hmm.
a-hole? Okay.
Yeah, because our segment last week didn't feel like it was working right.
We're not. Are you saying that we're not good at advice?
I think we are, but I don't think the people are ready for what we have to say.
Okay. So, am I the a-hole for not giving my neighbor's soccer ball back after he threw it onto my third floor apartment balcony, which he kicks against the side of the apartment all day? A little
No. Sorry.
a little context. I live on the third floor of an apartment building, and the family below me has a little boy who loves to kick his soccer ball around all day. All capitals. He kicks it against the side of the building, against the inside walls of his apartment, slams it into the ceiling, my floor, and throws it onto the roof. This isn't just loud, shakes my entire apartment. I work the night shift, and this makes it impossible for me to sleep. By chance, he kicked his soccer ball onto my balcony, and I just haven't given it back. It's been 2 days, and he has been knocking on my door continuously for those 2 days. He knocked, in parentheses, it says beat, on my door for 2 hours straight today, and at least once every hour after that. The thing is, I can sleep through someone knocking on my door. I can't sleep through my apartment shaking. I was finally able to sleep a full 8 hours today, and I really don't want to go, or I really don't want that to go away. Am I the a-hole? No, I don't think so, because we had a basketball hoop that was right outside, that was not our hoop,
Mm-hmm.
that was like right outside of our bedroom window,
Mhm.
and all of the neighborhood kids gathered there.
That was the one that they went to.
It was just like the open basket,
Yeah.
and it was like right outside of our bedroom window.
Yeah.
So if you tried to take a nap, it
Mhm.
didn't matter what time of day, like nobody could be out there all day. You
And
lay
that's
down,
when they would come.
and the basketball started.
We had a similar situation where our neighbors in our old previous house, they had dogs outside that, and we've talked about how much we both love dogs, barked all night long. And no, I don't think they are either. You have to be respectful of people, and especially when you're in an apartment environment.
Mhm. Yeah.
I wonder how old the kid is. Like, is he 4 or is he
No, I think
17?
he's like, oh, like probably like 12. I think
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it said in the comments, because like he was like responding to people in the comments.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I don't think he is either. I don't, or she, whoever. I don't
yeah.
think they are either. I think that maybe this will teach the child.
Mhm.
I think he needs to take the ball and have a conversation with the parents. But the parents are probably going to be like, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, I pay to live here too.
Right.
Like yeah, parents are not receptive to
Right.
any criticisms.
There's got to be a better place though
Yeah.
for this to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think they are.
I don't think so either. I am like,
Get your sleep, boo. Get your sleep.
I threatened so many times to like move the basketball hoop to a different location.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then like, I mean, Dylan would do it too. I mean, Dylan would be out there all the time.
Yeah.
So like I can't yell at any of the kids, because my kid was doing the same stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No, and it wasn't even stupid. They were playing and they were outside, and I should be 100%
No,
happy that
it's
kids
okay.
are being kids. So I sound like the a-hole right now. But
Let us know if you think Steph's there.
but like it just seemed like it was like every single time you tried to lay down,
Yeah.
just like if you had a headache, if you
Oh,
wanted to take
sure.
a nap, it was like
It's your house. You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
shy.
I agree.
It was really, one of the comments in the thread was that he had similar situation. The ball that would go into the guy's yard, the kid would open the gate, come get his stuff, leave the gate open, and his dogs would get out. And so the guy went to talk to the mom.
Mm-hmm.
The mom was like, my kid didn't do that. Like the typical,
Yeah.
whatever. So he buys a lock for the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Ball goes over the fence. Kid can't get in because there's a lock.
Mm-hmm.
He said he went and brought the ball inside, stabbed the ball. Mom comes knocking on the door later that day and was like, I need my kid's ball. It went over your fence. And he's like, oh, there's no ball back there. Sorry. She's like, it went over the fence. And he's like, well, just like your kid didn't open my gate, go in
Right.
my backyard, and my dogs got out. I don't have your ball. And he shut the door.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. So she probably can see it like right on top of the garbage, like
Oh
like
yeah.
deflated.
Yes, yes. Like sad looking up back there. That's funny.
So I did save it for one more. So am I the a-hole for calling the police because my neighbors were being
Is
loud?
this the neighbor episode?
I guess so.
Okay.
I didn't even put that together. I
You
just
know,
thought to,
I'm
but
really quick.
I just like did like random screenshots, and I'm like, oh,
Well, you can't get anything past me.
okay.
Okay. Well, here we go.
This is another apartment complex too.
I'm all in.
Remind me to tell you my like when we moved to Tennessee story.
Okay.
Crazy. Am I the a-hole? Oh, my college story too. Our college neighbors. Oh my God, in the house we lived in. Oh,
Now you're having trauma flashbacks.
oh my goodness. Okay, we'll talk about that when we're done with this.
Okay.
Am I the a-hole for calling the police because my neighbors were being loud? I live in an apartment complex with about 10 to 12-story buildings. I live on the third floor. 3 days ago, drunk men were really loud outside my building. They were singing and yelling. It was almost 2 a.m. I'm 21 years old, work full time, study full time. It's exam season currently, so I was really irritated that they woke me up. And I was also irritated that they weren't shutting up.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear my other neighbors asking them to keep quiet, but they weren't shutting up. So I called the police. The police came, and I guess things escalated because they arrested one man. The next day, I could see Facebook posts in my neighborhood group, and surprisingly, the rude and mad comments were directed at a person who called the police. Me, lol. I figured out that it was someone's birthday. Just so you have better understanding, I'm translating one post from that group. When the dogs are barking and howling all night long, you don't seem to be bothered, and you are mad over sounds of fun and happiness. People are so unfair. May God bless you with many loud birthdays, George. Okay. Today, a woman came to my door, visibly upset. I could see her through the peephole. I didn't open the door. She somehow figured out who called the police, and I figured she's the wife of the man who got arrested. She was calling me names, saying that I wouldn't be at home forever, and I'll get my share of fairness. Kind of sounds like a threat, if you ask me. Am I the a-hole for calling the police? Should I apologize?
No.
I don't think so either. Was it on a weekend? Was it like a Monday? I want to know what day of the week it was. But they were asked several times by other apartment people
Right.
to be quiet or to like,
But even if it is Saturday morning at 2 a.m., it's still not okay to, in my opinion, in a public space where there is like an insinuated quiet time,
mhm,
to be disrespectful and loud. And here's my thing too. That's, a lot of times when things escalate, it's late at night, people are drunk, there could have been fights or whatever. So no, get everybody back in their house. Sorry. Get everybody back in their house and call it a night.
Yeah. I'm torn because
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like they're in a college town, which is more known to have these types of things
Yes.
happen. So it's almost like, I don't know. But let me tell you my college story
Yeah.
because this was bananas. So we lived in one of those big, like, like those big old Victorian houses that they make
Mm-hmm.
into apartments or
Oh
like
yeah.
studio. So me and Brandon had like a little studio, like room,
Mm-hmm.
in this house. And this is my first time living away from home.
Mm-hmm.
And every like couple nights a week, like we'd hear them like screaming across the hall. And they had a baby, like a little baby.
Okay.
Maybe like 1.5, 2, maybe over there. And you'd hear them screaming, babies crying, and I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Right. Right.
So what it's like 2:30 in the morning, and they get home, I guess, from whatever bar. One of I don't know whose mom it was, one of the adults'
Mm-hmm.
mom, I guess, was there watching the kid screaming. I mean, like there was so much, it was bananas. And so I'm like looking at, like we were both like sitting up, like, oh my God,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is crazy. I'm like, should I go over there and like see if
Right.
like I should watch the kid? I felt so bad that this kid was over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear, well, you're a crackhead. And like the girl's
Oh,
like, well,
jeez.
who got me to do it? Like,
Oh, no.
so then I look outside and I'm like, oh my God, like what should we do? Like this is
Mm-hmm.
not like
Right.
my norm.
Right. Right.
And I look outside, the police are coming up and they're like, can you open the door? Because it was, like,
They had to have the
yeah,
code or whatever.
yeah. Whoever called the cops went down. Like, because I was just had,
Okay.
like, I was like looking out the window, like,
Yeah.
and they're like, can you open the door? But somebody was already down there to open the door. And we hear them like yelling. The cops are like trying to calm everything down across the hall. And then we see the guy leaving. The girl runs out, lays on the lawn like spread eagle, and she's like, "Come back to me."
Oh my gosh. After she and he had been fighting, right?
It was
What? Why?
the craziest night ever. And they, I think, got kicked out a week or two later because they moved out.
Yeah.
But it was so
That
bananas.
is crazy. That is crazy.
So it wasn't like quite as tame as this.
Right. It sounds like that your story should have been in here in the
Yeah. But we did not call the police. Like I was
no.
just like, oh my God, should I go see if they want help with the baby? Like,
Yeah.
because I felt so bad for the
For
baby.
the baby in
Yeah.
that yeah, in that environment, crying and fussy and all the things.
And then, so when graduate college, Brandon eventually takes a job in Tennessee. We moved to Tennessee and we get a townhouse.
Okay.
And so this lady lived next door with her two children, and we weren't even there a couple of days. She knocks on the door and asks if I can watch her kids. She doesn't know me.
No.
Doesn't know me, like nothing. And I'm like, she's like, I just gotta run, like, whatever. And I was like, and then like she's like, thanks, and she leaves. And I'm like, okay. So that's the start. Like this is like day like 2 or 3. So we were there, I don't know, like a year and a half maybe at the same townhouse. Like
Mm-hmm.
she lived next door the whole time. So it was like the neighbors from you know where.
Mm-hmm.
So she was, and no judgment, but she was like an ex-stripper, like
Mm-hmm.
recovering addict or
Right.
whatever, like the whole nine
Right.
yards. And she would just like send the kids over
Are you kidding
to
me?
get milk, to get whatever. And I'm like, they would just walk in. Like I had to start like locking all of my doors like at all times because like these kids would just walk in.
That was just their second home.
No, it was just my mom sent me over to
Oh.
get what like
Oh, it's like their store.
these kids were little, 4 and like 7, or like 4 and like 6. I mean,
Oh.
like young. She would send like there was a gas station kind of like next to our
Mm-hmm.
complex. She would let them go walk there by themselves and get a donut or whatever. Little, like tiny little people.
That is insane.
Yeah. So then one kid like played the drums
No.
all hours.
How long were you in the townhouse?
I think a year and a half, and then we bought
Yeah.
our house.
Yeah.
But Brandon had to get up for work at like 4 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
like 11 o'clock at night. These kids would like on a school night, like playing the drums. So I would, because I am the a-hole. I can be. If first thing in the morning, because I would get up and make Brandon like lunch or like breakfast or
Right.
whatever. So I would turn all the speakers towards their apartment or their walls and blast music at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like just to be like, here it is.
Right. Right. Steph.
She would hold her Bible studies and stuff at her house, and they would be like speaking in tongues and like they like yelling.
Oh.
And I was like, it scared the
Yeah,
crap out of me the first time I
yeah.
heard it. I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening?
What is going on over there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I thought you were going to say that, like, okay, so the couple of days in, the kids can't, you watch the kids, like, it was going to turn into, like, they were staying at your house constantly kind of thing.
no, but like Brandon, like they would like try to like take movies and stuff. That's when DVDs and whatever were still a thing.
Right.
Brandon's like, oh, we should switch out some of the DVDs
Oh.
and teach her not to send her kids over.
It's crazy. Sometimes people just have no respect
I know.
for anybody else's
Yeah,
space.
I was not sad to move.
Mm-mm.
So
No,
those are my nightmare neighbor
those are
stories.
pretty terrible,
Yeah.
actually. I mean, hilarious, the first one, and terrible.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about this person? Do you think they are with the birthday celebration? George, thumbs up. They think you are.
I don't know. I'm like on the fence because if it's a college town and they're all like 21, like or turning 21, if it wasn't like an every night thing, if it was a
Just a one
if it
time.
was a one time thing, but if it's a reoccurring theme with the
Yeah.
same people, then yes, I could see
Yeah,
that.
I agree with you. I was going to be a strict, I don't care. 2 a.m. is 2 a.m. I don't care who you are. But you're right. If it's a one time thing, even if it is a random day of the week, like by the time I would get my nerve up to call the police, I think, and be like, is this really a deal or am I just blowing this out of proportion? It would be over.
And then how did the wife find out who called?
I don't know. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
I thought stuff when you reported it as
I
anonymous.
don't know.
I don't
I've
know.
never called the cops on anybody,
No.
so I don't know.
Other than like if I've seen an accident. I have called the cops before on people driving erratically and crazy. I do call about that sometimes.
Yeah.
And Brian gets mad almost. Like, why are you calling? And I'm like, because we're going to pass them in 5 minutes and they're going to be flipped upside down. Okay, so we're not going to do the hacienda next week.
Mm-mm.
We're going to do the All the Good People Here,
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Flowers. That's not right, is it?
I don't remember. I'm just agreeing.
I think that is right.
I am supporting whatever you were saying.
All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. There we go. I don't know why. I'm tired.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
This was fun. If you all could leave us a review,
Please. I don't think we've had any new ones in a while.
no.
It's very sad.
But we would love for you to review us. All good things, of course. And follow us on the socials. And I think
that's it.
thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
listening. We appreciate all of you. And we will, well, you can listen to us next Tuesday.
Yes, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.